How you feeling, buddy?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
Ready to go another year here with us?
Yeah, glad it's finally here. You know, it's all the off-season stuff, the OTAs, all the workouts, all that, training camp. You know, it's all for this right now. So, you know, glad it's finally here with the guys and can go out there and get ready to go on Sunday.
Offensive line has been the talk of training camp. Can't get away from it. You know, when you're in it, when you're out of it. Do you have 5 guys you're going to roll with on Sunday? Because I know guys have been in and out, especially at the tackle position. But how confident are you heading into week 1 that, you know what, we're going to be okay?
Yeah, you know, I think we definitely have 5 we're going to try to roll with. You know, obviously City being banged up a little bit, you know, changes things. But, you know, that's part of it, right? You got to be ready to go. So it's a great opportunity for guys to get in there and go. And, you know, I'm confident in a lot of things we can do up front. Obviously, our coaching staff's very familiar with Cincinnati. You know, a lot of them coming from Cleveland. You know, so we'll have a good plan and be ready to go.
David, the other thing that's received a lot of attention this summer has been the quarterback situation. As you watched it play out over the course of summer and camp and preseason games, did it feel like a real competition to you?
Yeah, I think so. You know, and I think everything's competition each week, right? Like just because, you know, there's week 1 starters, there'll be week 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, right? It's always, you know, changing and evolving. You have to be ready to go each week, and, you know, you got to earn it each week. And, but, you know, I definitely think there was, you know, and obviously the powers that be and the coaches and organization, you know, made the decision and think that gives us the best chance to win.
All right, okay, so this is game 1, and I think this has kind of been the plan since this all happened when Jacoby was brought in for free agency. You guys drafted Drake, we know all that. And when you watch camp, it seems like Jacoby was always the number 1 guy. Does this give you a little more at ease as the center of this team going into a road game, week 1, the element of the unknown, as opposed to, I got to worry about a 21-year-old kid behind me that hasn't seen it all?
You know, I don't think it's necessarily, you know, an age thing, things like that. Like, Jacoby's played in this offense a bunch, right? Obviously, a lot of carryover from things he did in Cleveland while he was there with AVP and stuff. You know, he's played in Cincinnati. He's played on the road. You know, he's done it all in his 9-year career. So, you know, he's well prepared. And like I've said the whole time, you know, I just can't imagine a better person for Drake to learn from in this offense because, you know, Jacoby isn't – yeah, I mean, yeah, he's learning a new system somewhat, you know, obviously, but, like, he has all that familiarity, so he's not having to learn it from the ground up. So the knowledge he has in the system, you know, to help develop guys and help a guy like me, you know, because he played in our system here. You know, we obviously worked together, played some. So he knows how I operate, how I see things and think. So, you know, that's been huge having a guy like that for me too.
Yeah, that was something I was going to ask you, and that is how different is it for every other player in the offense, not just quarterbacks, linemen, running backs, receivers? How big of an adjustment has it been to get used to this system?
Well, you know, I think we got a lot of new players, obviously, guys that have played in different systems, you know, where I've only really kind of played, let's call it, in one system, you know, so, and done that for a long time, you know. So, you know, I think guys are, you know, more familiar with these types of systems around the league because I think it's pretty popular. And, you know, so I think guys have done a really good job picking it up. And I think if you're playing football, right, like no one's reinventing the wheel in the grand scheme of things. Things are called different. It's kind of like language to language, different languages. And it's just learning the communication, the language part of it. But at the end of the day, like I said, like it's not like, you know, people are going out there running the wing tee or something like that. You know, like it's generally the same concepts around the league. They're just termed differently.
What's the biggest thing Cincinnati does as far as defensively getting after you? Is it the edge guys or is it in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the edge guys are, you know, key part of their defense. When I look at it, you know, their DC's been there, you know, the whole time Zach Taylor's been there. And so, you know, you got continuity there. You got a lot of guys that have played a lot together, whether it's B.J. Hill, 2 edge guys, the linebackers, Mike Hilton. You know, they re-signed Von Bell this offseason. You know, he was a guy that was there and left and came back. So, you know, a lot of guys, a lot of continuity up front, comfortable in the system. I think they play really sound defense. You know, they do a lot of different things, different looks, and they have a really good blitz package. So, you know, up front, trying to play the game on your terms, right? You play the game. That's always the key, but, especially a team that likes to get in these blitzes, you play the game 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. It kind of limits on some of the things they can do. You got to defend the run, different things like that. So, I think that's a big thing, especially on the road. More to try to play the game on your terms, and control the game that way.
Yeah, is that communication up front that much more important being on the road? You got 3 of 4 on the road to start the year. That's no easy task.
Yeah, I think so. I think always is that communication, and it always starts up front. And the biggest thing is the O-line. You want to always try to see the game the same way, right? Like, because there's things obviously you can communicate, and then there's things where it's like happens on the run, and it's all about reaction. And you want everybody to have their rules, know their rules, react the same way, see the game the same way, and you don't. When you get in trouble, it's like, well, I thought this guy was doing this, and so I did this, and it breaks down, kind of the concept of the play. So really just keeping everybody on the same page, same set of eyes, and seeing the game that way is always a huge part of having success.
Dave, I'm going to go back to that Washington Commander game real quick before we continue here with Cincinnati. You did not play in that game. Warnings were given to the sideline about the tackles being in the backfield, and it was pretty evident from up where we were. You could see that they were in the backfield. And then 4 times it was called in that first half.
Yeah.
What was the communication? Yeah. Do they come over? Do they tell Gerard? Or do they tell the positional coach? Do they tell Coach Peters? And how was it handled from there?
Yeah, look, I think, that was obviously not good because that's kind of doing the opposite of what I said, playing the game on your terms. You start the game off 1st and 15 or, big plays, that get called back, whatever it may be, right? Like those procedural errors can kill you. But the good thing about those is they're very easily fixable. Mm-hmm. They're correctable. And we just have to do a better job of, if we get the warning or whatever it is, correcting it. And, if they do give the warning, if you do it again, that's probably, you know how refs are, though. Like,
yeah.
They might tell you something like, hey, that was a little close to a holding. For whatever reason, they didn't call it. Like, you got to know now, like, hey, you're on their radar.
Yeah, I thought the Chiefs tackles lived in the backfield all year last year. Same thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. You got to play the game how it's being played, right? That's always been said. Like, if business is being done one way, that's how you got to do it that week. If they're letting you get away with some stuff, like, maybe that's something you push. But, like I said, I think that's easy correctable stuff and stuff we can correct and will correct.
All right, David. Well, it's great to have you back. Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
All right. See you this weekend. Thanks, buddy.
See you guys.
David Andrews, Patriots center, with us from Foxborough ahead of Sunday's game against the Bengals. Not an easy one out of the gate. With or without Jamar Chase. Tough task.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.